Good morning, crafting journey here. That journey chick on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram if you want to see the latest canvases from Dreamer Designs or Uniquely Yours Down Under, because I have affiliations with both and codes for both. Yay! So, working on Monster Mash because I need to get this thing done. Did you guys have a great weekend? I had a pretty good weekend. It went by very quickly. I was doing the 24 hours of cross stitch. Out of 72, I did 14. Same as last time. I was determined. I mean, I wanted to surpass it, but I was really, really tired. So I just did not surpass it. I think I need to roll the, it's cold out today, so I got out my cold pajamas. It's a pajama day. Yes. Yeah. I'm working from home, and I've got a bra on. There's nothing flopping around, but I'm going to work from home. So, just in case somebody comes to the door, or I might be filming a YouTube, you never know. I got a bunch of unboxings I got to do. I'm a little behind, and a floss tube, so you can see what I was working on for 14 hours. All right, let's do some planning, shall we? This is Halloween week. Who's going trick-or-treating? Who's got a costume? Are you let me know what costume you're going to wear, because I'm going to do my live October 31st, Sunday, 11 Central Time. I don't have a costume. Like, this is it. I'm a lumberjack. How about that? Okay. Oh, that was last week. So I did decorate in the Zoom yesterday. I did the Halloween decorations. There's my layout for the week. I've got the happy trick-or-treat bag here. Got the pumpkins. And just look, I spread some pumpkins around. These are little candy corns that I put there. Over here, just some little Halloween sayings. There's the bills. Still haven't paid the bills from last week. I gotta do that this morning. Oh, okay, so today is National Sourist Day. This means you could do your resting bitch face all day long. You're entitled. One day a year. Yep. Okay, Sourist, I can't even spell it, day. And this day in history, what was it? Oh, I remember. I got a good one for you. Also, do not forget, also on October 31st, I'm giving away a Diamond Art Club gift card to one lucky subscriber. Yes, you must be subscribed to the channel and leave a comment on the YouTube short that I did a few days ago. If I can link it, I don't know if it'll be there or there. I will try to link it for you. It's only 60 seconds. You know, just turn the video on, leave a comment. Yep. Turn the video on. Is that supposed to go there, that diamond? Is that really where it's supposed to go? Like right in the middle of that? No, I didn't think so. It's a stray diamond. Okay, let's get the diamonds out. Let's talk about Sourist Day. Do you know people that have like that resting bitch face? I do know one or two. If people are in a bad mood, it's very difficult to get them out of it. This is the one day you can let them wallow in it. Any other day, you need to like cheer them up, tell them a joke. I don't know, buy them some candy corn or a caramel apple. But Stitch is here. Stitch is not sour. Stitch is sweet. Come here, baby. Hi, honey. Oh, gotta go. He's busy. I don't know what he's busy doing, but he's busy. So, today you can go and get away with it. Yes. You want to say that again? Yeah. Which I'd have to work today from home, so I might be doing some of that. In fact, I already did. I saw the email from the big boss, and I'm like, what? I don't even want to get into it. She's trying to do the impossible, and I've already told her it's not possible. Well, it's possible, but I can't believe the doctors are going to want to do this. Like, they're never going to agree to this. Nope. So, whatever. Anyway, she's the boss. I'll do it. If she wants me to do it, I'll do it, but it ain't going to work. Okay. If life is giving you lemons today, that's okay. You don't have to make lemonade. Just stay grumpy. Yep. Pout. Pout. Yep. That's all I know about it. There's also a sweetest day. I think we'll have more fun on the sweetest day of the year. But today is sour day. I do really need the light pad for this. I'm so used to the light pad. Let me turn it on. Turn it on, turn it on. Okay, there we go. Monster Mash. Now, I've added glow-in-the-darks to this, so we are going to see next week on Halloween if this thing glows in the dark. I hope so. That way the children at the children's hospital, or, you know, the pediatric ward at my hospital, will enjoy the glow-in-the-darks and the sparklers, because I'm going to donate this canvas. I'm going to get it framed, and, well, I'll frame it, and I'll donate it. Yep. Look, I put a new glue dot in today, so we're going to get that tick, tick, tick. Don't you love that? So what did we do this weekend? Oh, I told you I did the 24 hours of cross stitch. Yeah. Hi, Stitch. You really shouldn't be there. No, that's not a good spot. What do you got? What is he playing with? A rubber band. Okay. Okay. That looks like fun. Okay. He's going to take it to the floor and play with it. It's got to be, if it's fun up there, it's going to be way more fun on the floor. I think he just ran off with it. Last night, I found a spoon that goes in my sugar. How they got this spoon out of the sugar out to the playroom, I don't know. They did not sleep in my room last night. The cats, they were wandering around all night, up to no good. You know, the nighttime is their time. Oh, what he's doing. Oh, my word. So I had the weirdest thing happen to me on Saturday. I'm sitting there, you know, I have that light that goes around my neck with the two high beams, you know, right here, not here, here. And you can adjust the light to do cross stitch. Well, I wanted to charge that so I could use that in the evening. So this was daytime. So I put the light behind my chair, and, you know, it was just shining down here. And I went into the Zoom, and 3 hours later, I kept saying to the girls, oh, I am so hot. I'm just really getting hot here. And I kept telling my sister, it's so hot in this house. Well, I get up from my chair finally after about 3 hours. We decide we're going to go get us a coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, and an iced coffee. And my face is red as a beet. Like I got a suntan, my shoulders. And I'm just like, I'm putting a washcloth on. And that redness did not go away till the next day. So I think what we figured out is one of the meds that I'm taking, you should probably avoid UV light. So I won't be doing that again because I was miserable. I just felt like I was an oven and I was going to explode. So weird. So I have lots of crocheting to do. So I'm going to switch to crocheting today in between working and all the other good stuff. Yep. Okay. What's next? What you came here for? Crafting and crime. All right, we're doing the case of Donald Hartung. He is accused of murdering his 3 family members, his mom, his brother Richard, and his other brother, John. They're half-brothers. They all 3 live in the same house. Now, Donald has his own house, Now, in this house, they also have, with the three people, they have a little doggy. I don't know what kind of dog. They don't show the dog. Donald's on trial for murdering all three. Now, Donald will go every week to this house on Tuesdays and make dinner for his mom and his brothers. Now, his brother Richard would not be home from his job. He works for the Department of Homeland Security. Yeah, cool, huh? As a computer technician. So he gets home later in the evening, and by then Donald has made dinner, but he always puts him some of the dinner in the oven for when he comes home. He made chicken, corn, green beans, and biscuits that night. And then he goes home. Mom sits around all day watching QVC. We'll learn more about that later. But when you see the crime scene photos and you see the inside of this house, can you just say hoarder episode? It's not quite that bad, but she's getting there. QVC boxes everywhere, knickknacks, like ceramic geese and things like that. And like, who orders this stuff? Why does QVC even sell it? For people like that, I guess. Anyway, and John, the third person that lives in this home, he is, I believe he has maybe a form of, he's on the spectrum, autism. So he's disabled, doesn't work, stays home. I'm not sure what he does, but he stays home. Maybe video games? I'm not sure. It's not QVC. That's the mom. So Donald comes over that Tuesday, makes them dinner. Now, I'm going to combine day one. First two witnesses are the responding officer, the first responding officer, and Richard's boss from the Department of Homeland Security. And I'm going to combine their testimony because it tells the story a little bit better. So Richard, he was supposed to have come home, had dinner that night. He took Wednesday off to take his brother to the doctor. So on Thursday, he doesn't show up for work. So the boss is thinking, that's strange. This is not like him. He's a supervisor, Richard is, and he's got to be available 24/7, like by phone for the people that work underneath him. So he doesn't show up. So by Friday, now he's really getting concerned. He's like, I'm going to go over to his house because he's not answering his phone. He goes to the house, and there's Richard's car next to the mother's car. They're both there. He knocks on the door. Nobody's answering. And he believes that he must be there. The cars are there. So he calls the police. But meanwhile, the first responding officer comes and he asks him, does he have an emergency contact? Somebody we can contact, a family member or something. So because, they're at the mom's house, the manager calls back to work and says, mom's his emergency contact, but can you look up and see if we can find a family member for Richard? So they find Donald's name and address. So the first responding officer, by now there's other officers on the scene. So they all wait there while the responding officer goes over to Donald's house, and he tells Donald, hey, I was called to check on your mom and your brothers, but I can't get a response from them. Your brother's car is there, your mom's car is there, they're not responding. Do you have keys to the house? And he says, I don't have keys to the house. I never need keys. They're always there. So he said, well, can you come back with us and maybe give us permission to go into the home? And he's like, of course. And they said he was very cooperative. His demeanor was just, he wasn't nervous or anything. He just cooperated. So he followed them over in his vehicle and waited outside, and that he actually wrote up a statement saying, yes, you have permission to enter my mother's home. So they actually went around the back. They called the fire department. The fire department comes. Now, like, the neighbors are like starting to look. Fire department comes. They jimmy the door, the back door, and they get it open. And what they find is horrendous. So they go into the house. When they enter, there's a laundry room, and to the left, and then there straight ahead is a den. And then off to the right is a kitchen and all the rest of the living areas. So they go into the den, and there are 2 bodies in the den that they don't see right away because they're covered with clothing. They're just covered with stuff. They kind of like look around and they see, a foot sticking out. There's a dog there. The dog comes running up, sweet dog, but he's peed and pooped everywhere. It's hot in the house. The TVs are off. This is Florida. It's February, but it's still hot. So they leave, they take the dog and they put him outside because they have a large fenced-in backyard. Well, Donald comes into the backyard and he gets the dog and he puts the dog in his car. Then they are looking around and they can see that there's blood spatters here. There's a bloody hammer in the kitchen. They investigate further because they need to search the entire home to make sure that there's no one there. Or, they still haven't found Mom. So they go to the first bedroom on the right, which is John's bedroom, and there's a large stack of clothing there. And, they kind of fish around, and yes, Mom's body is there. They were all hit with blunt objects, a blunt object, which we'll later find out was a hammer, and they were stabbed with knives. Yeah. So this is what they find. So then they call in the crime scene technician. So the next person that takes a witness stand on day 1 is the crime scene technician. Now, if I didn't mention this, this is a very small town. This area is very rural, country. So here comes the blonde bombshell crime scene technician. So the first thing that we find out about this crime scene technician, because you'll learn as the prosecutor, she's got to bring out the bad stuff. If there's bad stuff about your witness that's going to affect that witness's credibility, it better be you that brings it out. Because if you don't bring it up and then the defense brings it up, then the jury's going to go, why didn't she tell us about that? What is she trying to hide? So she's got to bring up the bad stuff. So here's the bad stuff. This crime scene technician, at the time that she was investigating this crime and thereafter for a few years, was addicted to opioids. She started out by taking tramadol, then Lortab, then oxycodone. And the Lortab and the oxycodone, the tramadol was prescribed originally for headaches. Then that doesn't work anymore, and then the doctor prescribes Lortab. So she starts stealing Lortab from the evidence room. Then she ups herself to oxycodone, which the doctor didn't up her, she upped herself. Then she starts stealing oxycodone from the evidence room. So they eventually, they catch her. She gets away with it for quite a while. Then they catch her, and they charge her with all these counts of theft and possession and trafficking, and she was in big trouble. So the prosecution, she was facing at a minimum of 8 years in prison for all of these drug charges. So she's fired from her job, but she ends up making a deal with the prosecutor that in lieu of any jail time, she would serve a certain period of time on house arrest, probation basically, house arrest, but she could go to work, she could go get groceries, she could leave the house for certain things, but otherwise she had to stay at her house, probably do a drug program, but she wouldn't serve any jail time. But she would also have to testify truthfully to any matters involving cases that she did crime scene investigation on, including this one. So then when the defense gets up to cross-examine her, the lawn people, this is a banner day. They start asking more and more questions. So what were you on during the time you were investigating this crime scene? And she said, just the tramadol. I was not taking, I don't think I was taking any Lortab at this point in time. Great. So I think it's sort of a big so what, but they're trying to cast doubt on her credibility. But all she did was take a bunch of freaking pictures, that she's a crime scene technician. She went out, she spent 80 hours taking pictures the poor thing, what she had to do, she had to go film, she had to take pictures of the garbage and take the garbage out a little bit at a time and take pictures. She had to take pictures of the different, like, she went into the den and she'd take a picture of what you actually saw when you went into the den. And I have several of these pictures, so I'll put them up. But the first thing she sees is these mounds of clothing. So she's got to, after she takes each piece off, she's got to take a picture and bag the piece of clothing. I think she said from the mother's pile, there was like 30 bags of clothing. And then from the John's pile, there was 4 bags of clothing. And from Richard's pile, there was 2 bags of clothing and blankets and, all this stuff. So to eventually where she gets down and there's a body. Then she takes pictures of the body and before it's removed by the medical examiner's office. So she has to do that for all 3. Then she has to take pictures of the whole house. Then she has to take swabs, or she looks for fingerprints first. She doesn't find any fingerprints. No fingerprints on the hammer. No fingerprints on cigarette butts that she found in the trash can. No fingerprints really on anything she could find. But she took swabs for DNA on over anywhere from 400 to 500 objects, including the ceramic goose that was broken and in the garbage. So she testified she spent 80 hours over the next week. And then, that was July 31st. Then she gets, oh, did I say February before? This was July. So she gets a call about 10 days later. I guess the officers were back out there and they were moving furniture around and they found a knife in the lounge chair where they believe the mom was killed. And so she had to go back and photograph that knife, and I'll put a picture of it here. And then in the love seat where they think John was killed, they find a knife, like kind of tucked down in there. So 2 knives, and they do match kitchen knives that mom has in the kitchen. She has several blocks of kitchen knives. Like, I don't even have one. I used to have one, but she had several of these blocks. The other thing I failed to mention is not only, when the boss shows up at the house and he's knocking on the door and nobody responds, there's a whole pile of QVC boxes waiting for mom to open. So she probably got QVC boxes every single day. Wow. Who does that? Well, I've got some Diamond Art Club over here. Yeah. But not every single day. I can remember a time when I did watch a lot of QVC because their job is to hook you in, and it's like a train wreck. You're like, oh, what's next? What color does that come in? Oh, I need that. Yeah. You know what I need? The caramel apples. QVC has caramel apples. Oh my gosh. Covered in chocolate, covered in Reese. Oh, ridiculous. It's expensive too. So that's day 1 of the trial. Yeah. Day 1. Interesting. Now, does it cast credibility on that woman? She was just taking pictures, Were any of them out of focus? I don't think so. She was taking pictures, taking swab for DNA, and she just gives it to the lab. She actually doesn't even give it to the lab. She gives it back to it's up to the officers, whoever's directing the criminal investigation to decide what pieces of evidence from what she's collected that they want sent to the lab. That's not up to her. She just collects it all. So is it a sad? Yeah, it's sad that she had to go through that. She said she'd been clean for 18 months and pretty girl, real pretty girl. So I'll bring you day 2 tomorrow. Now, the other trials that I would like to cover are still in jury selection. Markeith Lloyd, they had some hearings on Friday, and Markeith Lloyd reiterated that he wanted to represent himself. Apparently, at one time she did allow him to represent himself, and then he decided no, he wanted his attorneys to represent him. Well, now he's gone back to, I want to represent myself. And she just said, listen, you can't You can't represent yourself. There's no way you can adequately defend yourself from jail. You can't. So we're not even going to entertain this right now. But he went on this like tirade during the hearing, and I thought the judge was very empathetic to this Markeith Lloyd. She just sat and she listened. She's like, calm down. Just tell me what you want to say calmly, and I'll listen to you. So he's trying to explain to the judge that he wants his attorneys to make sure that they tell the jury that he was framed by the police, that he had tried to turn himself in twice for the alleged murder that he's already been convicted of. He's already been convicted and serving a life sentence for murdering his ex-girlfriend who was pregnant. Now, which he says he did not do. He was set up. But he was going to turn himself in peacefully, and he was being framed by the police. That whole thing at Walmart was a big frame job. What's going on? So the judge listened, and she says, like, well, you'll have an opportunity, they'll have an opportunity to tell the jury that. So a jury not going to believe it, but yeah, he's going to insist that they hear that. That's going to be his defense. I was framed. Okay. Bye. Bye. What is it? What is it? Okay, bye. Bye. He's a busy little man. All right, let's do this day in history, because I have a lot of editing to do because of the lawn guy. This day in history. It's kind of a sad one. Susan Smith. Do you guys remember Susan Smith? This happened, oh gosh, 28 years ago? Something like that. Yeah, long time ago. Susan Smith. She calls the police and she reports that her 2 children are missing, that they were kidnapped by a man. Let's find the story. Here's a story. 1994, October 25th, 1994, Susan Smith reports that her car, she was carjacked. Some guy steals her car with her 2 children in the back seat. 1-year-old Alex and 3-year-old Michael. And so they're investigating, and they're searching, and she's getting really nervous. So she thinks, oh my God, they're going to figure out what I did. So she confesses a few days later. Okay, I was having an affair with this man. She and her husband both had multiple affairs. They were not getting along. So she was having an affair with this man who didn't want kids, so she decided to get rid of her children. So she had them in the back seat, and she was driving, and she drove them into a lake. This happened in South Carolina. So, and it took them a while to get those, to find the car in the lake and get it out. If she had not confessed, they probably would not have figured it out for years. But she didn't know that. So she confesses, and she gets life in prison with the possibility of parole. She is actually up for parole in 2 years. In 2024, she will be eligible for parole. But she has not been a good person in jail. She's been in jail for 26 years. And during that time, she's had several infractions for marijuana and other drugs. She had gotten 2 corrections officers fired and criminally charged for having sex with her. One guy had to spend 3 months in prison, and the other guy got 5 years probation. Oh, really horrible. Yeah, if you're a corrections officer, that is a big no-no. And if you watch Orange is the New Black, you would know that. Yeah. So whether she gets paroled or not, I don't know. They say now she's behaving herself because she knows her parole date is in a couple of years, so she's on her best behavior because she wants to get it. I don't know if they're going to let her out of prison. She's a beautiful woman. She's in her 50s now, so I don't know. She was very young at the time, obviously. And now she says, I wasn't in my right mind. I wasn't thinking straight. Well, I don't think that's an excuse for driving your kid into the lake, that you weren't thinking straight. I'm not buying it. I don't buy it. No. I think you were thinking very selfishly, but yes. So I think everybody remembers that horrible case. So sad. And the father of those two boys has never gotten over it. He's like, I don't know if I'll ever get over that. How could you? My goodness. All right, so that is the show for the day. 201 episodes of Crafting a Crime. Okay, guys, I love you all. Now I got to get to editing. I'll see you later. Bye.